My mother-in-law locked me outside in the rain. So I didn't argue. I didn't beg. The next morning, I made sure she lost the house. And she still doesn't know the worst part. My name is Ethan Cole. And for 3 years, I lived in a house that was never really mine. Not because I couldn't afford one, but because I chose not to. That was my first mistake. Still no promotion? Still no car? Still useless? That was Linda Parker, my mother-in-law. She didn't talk to me. She talked at me, like I was something temporary, something replaceable. And Emily, my wife, she never agreed with her mother, but she never stopped her either. And silence can break you faster than words. At dinner that night, Linda laughed. Claire's husband just bought her a house. Pause. Then she looked at me. And you? Silence. I smiled. That was my mistake. Because later that night, it started raining. She opened the door, looked me straight in the eyes, and said, "Stay outside." Pause. Maybe the cold will teach you something. I stood there, in the rain, waiting, not for her, for Emily. Just one sentence. Come inside. That's all it would have taken. But she didn't say a word. And that's when it hit me. Not anger, not pain, clarity. I wasn't being disrespected. I was allowing it. At exactly 2:17 a.m., my phone rang. Unknown number. I picked up, and that decision changed everything. Ethan Cole. Yeah, your father collapsed. Pause. Richard Cole. And just like that, the life I walked away from found me again. 10 years ago, I left everything behind. Money, power, control, because I wanted something real. Then I met Emily, and I thought, I found it. But standing in the rain that night, I realized something. She didn't love me for who I was. She loved me as long as I stayed small. By morning, I was standing in a hospital room, looking at a man I hadn't seen in 10 years. My father. He looked at me and said, "You look like a man who's been humiliated." I laughed. "You have no idea." He smiled slightly, then said, "Take it back." "I don't want it," I said. He looked straight at me. "Then take it for one reason." Pause. "So no one ever decides where you sleep again." That was it. I wasn't going back for revenge. I was going back to end it. The next day, I walked back in. No knocking. No hosetaschen. Linda turned, saw me, smirked. A look it came back. I smiled. "Actually," pause. "I came to finish something." "Finish what?" she asked. I took out my phone, dialed one number, and said, "Go ahead." 5 minutes later, someone knocked. A man in a suit, documents in hand. And the moment he spoke, everything changed. "This property has been transferred." Silence. Linda laughed. "Nonsense." Then she saw the papers and stopped. Emily looked at me, confused. "Ethan, what did you do?" I met her eyes. "Calm. I bought the house." But that wasn't the truth. The truth? Pause. I didn't just buy it. I made sure she had no choice but to sell it. Linda had hidden money, untaxed assets, secrets, and when those surfaced, she had two options: lose everything or sell fast. Guess who was ready to buy? "You planned this," she whispered. I shook my head. "No." Pause. "You created this." Emily stepped back. "You lied to me." I looked at her. For the first time, I felt nothing. "No," I said. "I just stopped shrinking for you." And just when I thought it was over, there was a knock on the door that night. I opened it, and Emily was standing there, crying, begging, saying she made a mistake. But here's the thing. Pause. I had already found out what she did, and what she was hiding, pause, was worse than anything her mother ever said to me. I looked at her, and for the first time, I didn't feel anything at all. That night, I had a choice. Let her back in, or finish what I started. Pause. And what I did next. It was worse. Mom came back that night, crying, begging, saying she made a mistake. But I had already seen the messages. And what she did, pause, was worse than anything her mother ever said to me. She stood there, soaked, shaking. "Ethan, please." I didn't mean for it to go this far. I didn't move. I didn't speak. Because for the first time, I was actually listening. Not to her words, but to what she wasn't saying. That hesitation, that fear, that wasn't guilt. It was exposure. Who else knows? I asked. She froze. Just for a second. But that was enough. Ethan, it's not what you think. That's what they always say. When it's exactly what you think. I took a step closer. And what do I think? Silence. Then, I told my mom. Pause. About you. Another pause. About your family. Not just told. She showed her. Messages. Private things. Things I trusted her with. And suddenly, everything made sense. The insults. The useless. The constant humiliation. It wasn't random. It was fed to her. By the one person I trusted most. You gave her reasons to hate me, I said. She shook her head fast. No, I was just venting. Venting? I laughed. Soft. Cold. You didn't just vent, I said. You built a version of me. Pause. That even you stopped respecting. Tears fell harder now. I was angry. I didn't think. Exactly. Pause. You didn't think. You didn't think when she locked me outside. You didn't think when she humiliated me. And you definitely didn't think. Pause. When you stayed silent. Silence. Just rain. Just breathing. And something breaking that couldn't be fixed anymore. I can fix this, she whispered. We can fix this. I looked at her. Really looked. And for the first time, I saw her clearly. Not the person I fell in love with. Not the person I trusted. Just someone who chose silence when it mattered most. I stepped back, slowly, and reached for the door. Ethan, pause. But I didn't stop, because this time, I wasn't the one being left outside. Pause. She was. And the next morning, she did something I didn't expect. Something desperate. Something that forced me to make a choice. That would destroy what was left of us. And this time, pause. There was no going back. She didn't come back to apologize. She came back with leverage. And when I saw what she was holding, I realized she wasn't here to fix anything. She was here to force me. Emily stood there, hands shaking, but not empty. She held her phone out, screen facing me. Don't do this, Ethan. Pause. Please. I looked at the screen, and my chest tightened, not from fear, from disappointment. Messages, photos, private things. Again. You said you told her everything. I said quietly. Emily didn't answer, because this time, it wasn't just her mother. Who else? I asked. Her silence was loud enough. Friends, family, people I didn't even know. All of them had seen a version of me that I never agreed to become. I didn't mean for it to spread, she said quickly. But if you don't fix this, pause, I won't be able to stop it anymore. That's when it clicked. This wasn't guilt. This wasn't regret. This was control. One last attempt to keep me small. I took a step closer. Slow. Calm. Go ahead, I said. She blinked, confused. What? Send it, I said. Show everyone. Her hand started shaking again. This time, not from desperation, from fear. Because the difference now, I said quietly, is that I'm not hiding anymore. I already told them. Pause. Everything. Her face changed. Color draining. What do you mean? I told them who I really am. Pause. What I actually did. And what you turned it into. You don't control the story anymore, Emily. Silence. Real silence this time. She stepped back, like she didn't recognize me anymore. Maybe she didn't, because the version of me she created, pause, doesn't exist anymore. And just when I thought it was finally over, my phone rang again. Unknown number. Pause. And what they said next changed everything. Again.